guys doing? Start logging in. I'm inviting a couple people that are gonna be joining me right now. Hello, hello. I know most of you guys are used to seeing my content in Spanish, but today we're gonna be doing everything in English. So make sure to say hi. I'm super excited. We are going to be talking about cellular health and why cellular health always comes first. Hello. I see Manatech here. Go live. Let's see. Hey, Dianelis. Hello. How
Hi.
are you?
Hello, hello. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Hold on. Um, why are you Rose on your account, right? As a Rosemary Mentori?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, hold on.
I just requested to join.
It's weird because I did not accepted you and it's not letting me add Manatech. Hold on a second. Let me see. In the meantime, you guys can say hi and invite all the humans. Let me see. Hey, Manatech. I don't see you joining. So just request to join and see if that works. Jocelyn, how are ya? Oh, is that you, Ben? Okay, let me try that. I just accepted you, though. Oh, VDA is you. Got it. Oh, now Ben is here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
We just need to, and I know our guest is trying to join us as well. So
I
I don't know
just,
if we can, I don't know if we can invite him, but
yes,
there he
There
is.
he
he's here.
is.
Awesome.
Yes, we are live.
Perfect.
Technology could not keep us down.
That's right.
Awesome. Okay, let's get
Awesome.
started.
Let's get started. Well, happy Friday. Peter, thank you so much for being here with us. It's an honor considering everything you've done, your track record in this industry and outside of this industry. You know, Peter is a supplement guru. He has fabricated and formulated many supplements that have done. I mean, I think Peter, when I hear people talking about you, they're saying Peter is the best. Like any supplement that he puts out is going to be a hit in the market. You're changing people's lives. People are feeling a difference. So thank you so much for being here with us. But now we have the privilege of having you as our COO, right? So super exciting. And Peter is also the person who has come up with the glycan test and the inventor, I want to say, of, and did Peter leave us? Or is
Oh,
Peter
no,
still here?
Peter is here. Ben, I think, is going back to work.
Ben is going back to work. Okay. And Peter is the inventor of the glycan replenishment therapy, which we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, Peter, please, we want to hear. We want to hear from you. We want to hear all about what glycans are and why they are set apart from every other supplement, every other white label that we have out there.
And I think we did lose Peter,
Oh,
so he's
oh.
probably coming right back in.
Oh, no. It's
Yeah,
okay. We'll wait for him.
yeah.
I mean, we see him, though, smiling. He looks nice, but he's not talking.
I don't see him smiling, so
Oh, yeah, I do. He's like this.
oh, like an Olin Mills portrait.
Right. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I need to do something on my
Let him
end.
back in.
Well, he's not requesting. I'm inviting him, though.
There we go.
Yes.
I have no idea what just happened,
Oh,
but we'll
well, I don't know if you heard the end, but I'm telling everybody, hey, you're the one that came up with glycan replenishment therapy. You know, you're the owner of that. So we want to hear about that and why glycans are set apart from any private label, anything, you know, any supplement out there, because you've seen them all. You've seen all the supplements. So we want to hear from you on why cellular health first and why glycans.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like you said, thousands of products, right? I've been doing this for my entire life. And when I think about supplements, a lot of times I would say in the past, a lot of ingredients overpromised and underdelivered because if somebody's baseline is not healthy, if they're not foundationally covering their bases, then any product you take is going to have a limited impact. And when you take a further step back and you say, well, what are the key components of life as a whole? Glycans are right in there with DNA and proteins. So, not addressing that underlying cellular health challenge is going to leave you with, I would say, minimal results from any product, no matter how great the product is. So, it's critical. When I think about glycans, I think about them as my insurance for my day to day health. Just like you would take a multivitamin to cover your gaps in as far as what vitamins and minerals you may not get in your diet, the same thing holds true with a multi-glycan because, again, glycans are critical. They're ubiquitous in your body on every single cell and responsible for cellular communication, and which plays a role in your immune system, your brain function, your joint health. All of these things are impacted by glycans, but it's the one nutrient that we're all running around deficient in that most everyone doesn't take a supplement, right? You don't see rickets anymore from vitamin D deficiency. You don't see scurvy from vitamin C deficiency because people take multivitamins and they know what to do. But we're all running around with these symptoms of glycan deficiency. And we have this incredible product that can address that. And that's why I think it makes such a difference. And honestly, you can notice the difference in just how you feel, your vitality. You feel so much better because you're giving your body those building blocks that it needs and that it needs to glycosylate, which is a critical process in aging.
Awesome. I love it because you said something that I think is key, and I would love to kind of expand on that. You said it's like an insurance,
Mm-hmm.
right? We all have insurance, whether we think we're going to need it or not, you know?
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
So, what about those people out there that maybe are taking already a multivitamin or a probiotic and they're like, but why? Like, I know what you just said that is so important, protein and DNA, but give me like a dummy version, very practical
Sure.
way for them to
I
understand.
want you to think back in the last 24 hours. How many whole grains did you eat? How much fiber did you consume? Were you eating a lot of leafy greens? All these type of things, right? Probably not much. Most of us, average Western person, is consuming less than 20 grams, 15 grams of fiber a day. Historically, 100 grams, 50 grams was not abnormal, right? That was the standard. So fiber is a common source, dietary fiber, and diverse sources of dietary fiber are a common source of glycans. You're just missing it in a Western diet. And every single country around the world now suffers from this. You're just not getting enough glycans on a day to day basis. And without that, the other thing I would say is it's like a rolling blackout. Imagine your body has the letters to spell some words, but not other
Mm,
words, right? So certain functions, yes, they're still going to continue, but they're going to be suboptimal. They're not going to be functioning at your highest level. And I don't know about you, but I want to function at my highest level, right? That's really what we're after. So that is where glycans come in.
So
absolutely.
Peter, let me ask you this because I love what you're saying, but can you tell us a little bit more about cellular communication? Because I know we talk about it, but I don't know if people truly understand what cellular communication is and how it really helps our body and how we truly need it.
Yeah, absolutely. So just like you have a cell phone and you have to have a cellular network in order to actually make use of that cell phone, right? In order for your body to actually make use and communicate among itself, it has to have glycans. They are the basic cell signal inside of your body, right? They are the thing that your body has, these cells have to have to communicate with each other. Otherwise, an even better analogy would be like, hey, you're on WhatsApp trying to message somebody and they're on WeChat or they're on, iMessage. obviously your message is not going to get through. So without glycans, we can't reach each other and your cells can't properly communicate. So when that happens, essentially what you have is, as I said, a situation where your body is functioning not just suboptimally, oftentimes to the detriment, right? So when you're in a healthy glycan state, it tends to be an anti-aging profile, right, from your glycans perspective. We know that because there's these large scale studies on IgGA, which is the most accurate predictor of your biologic age, right? That tells us that if you're in the pro-aging state, right, you're going to age at an accelerated rate. That means you're missing glycans on a day-to-day basis. So you're aging faster than you should. Whereas if you have the correct glycans and you're glycosylating properly, you're in an anti-aging state. So, less inflammation-related exercise and activity, better brain function, right? Focus, memory, all of those things, better immune function. All of those are driven by complex cellular communication, right? Those cells have to talk to the other cell. And again, if they're on different platforms, they're not communicating properly, it's all going to break down. It's going to miss.
Maria, did you want to say something
No, I'm like,
regarding this?
that sounds
I
good.
know,
I
right?
love the example of the WhatsApp and iChat and all of that. I can definitely relate to that on where the cell phone keeps spinning around and you're like,
Spinning
just
around.
go.
Just go. Just go.
So,
Yeah.
so
Your
something you
body's
said,
doing it.
Peter,
Yeah.
something you said that has been sticking with me, and I thought I always think about it, is you said that glycans make anything that you're taking work even better. So
Mm-hmm.
I dug deep into that and I finally understood it. And I'm like, okay, now I know why, because the body knows what to do. Can you just give a little bit more information on that? Because of course, I'm going to speak it in layman's terms,
Yeah.
but I want people to hear from the expert.
Yeah, of course. So one of the foundational components and important facts about glycans is because they are complex carbohydrates, right? They are broken down and utilized in the gut, and a critical component of that is maintaining proper absorption and digestion of those nutrients, right? Allowing them to actually get where they're supposed to go through first pass metabolism into your lymph system, into your bloodstream. If you are not healthy from a digestive perspective, if you're not healthy from a cellular perspective, that process is broken down. That cascade is not going to happen. And so when you take a product, I mean, let's even do it on one specific one, right? Mannose and specifically Ace Mannan, which is found in Manipul, right? When you think about that, that has been clinically shown time and time again to increase the bioavailability of vitamins and minerals and other ingredients because of its impact on inflammation related to your gut, but also of its glycan impact as far as cell-to-cell communication from mannose to mannan. So I would tell you that, again, when you enable the body to speak correctly, right on the right platform across those different platforms, it's able to utilize those nutrients. Without that, you're going to produce expensive urine, and that's about it. And unfortunately, for a lot of people, they've got very expensive urine, right, at the moment. They need to add some glycans, some Manipul to their life, and they're going to have much better results. And I was even saying earlier to somebody, look, I don't care if you start with everything. If you even started with just Manipul, I promise you that whatever you're taking, whatever product you're already using is going to work substantially better. And we not only do we know that, right, that is clinically proven. We can show that time and time again. So you asked me, when somebody asked me why do Manitech products work, it's because they're actually bioaccessible, right? Your body's actually able to take them and utilize them effectively. And that glycan base is a key component of that.
I love it. So let's talk about glycan replenishment therapy. Let's talk
Mhm.
about that concept, and then we can go into Manipul because you just mentioned it, and we want to make sure that we touch bases on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you think about a brand new baby, right? And I tell people this, and I love this and this story because it really anchors how important they are. The very first thing that they get from their mother, the most important thing that they get from their mother in that first minute of life is that breast milk that contains human milk oligosaccharides. And that human milk oligosaccharides that they receive helps to map their immune system, helps to build their innate immunity. It impacts everything in the first few years of their life based on what they're getting right when they're born. And that is a glycan that has a critical role in your immune function. So from the minute you're born until the minute you die, glycans are ubiquitous. They're everywhere. You wonder about your joint pain, right? The fluid in your joints, the structure of your joints is composed of glycans, right? That is made of glycans. The fluid around your brain that helps to hold that in place is composed of glycans. That is just a scratch of the surface, right? Every single cell in your body is composed of glycans. And 70% of the proteins that you consume, in order for your body to actually utilize them, have to be glycosylated. So they have to be decorated with these glycans. And so this idea that, you can go through life and not consume any dietary glycans and you're going to be perfectly healthy is just false. And we know that, right? You need to be replenishing those glycans on a day-to-day basis. But as I mentioned earlier, modern diets, people are just deficient in their dietary glycans. And now, because we have such restricted food supplies, most of us eat the same thing from the same place every single day. And as a result of that, not only are we not going to get enough glycans if we eat our normal 17 or 20 grams of dietary fiber, right, in complex carbohydrates, even if we went to 50, most of that is coming from a single source of fiber, and you're still not getting enough of these key letters, right? And so when you think about what this means, it's like your body's trying to spell out this word and it's missing, letters, right? It's trying to spell out health and it's missing E and A, right? And if you're not putting E and A back into your system, then you are going to be functioning at a suboptimal state. And again, you go from this anti-aging glycan profile, or glycome as we call it, to a pro-aging. So it's not just that it's helpful if you take glycans, it's harmful if you're not glycosylating properly, and it ages you faster. So if you're anyone that wants to age optimally, if you want to replenish what's missing in your diet, if you want to feel your best, then replenishing those glycans with a multi-glycan supplement that hits those essential sugars that are not common in your diet. That is a critical piece of your healthy aging strategy. So glycan replenishment therapy simply works on this premise of saying glycans are essential for life. Glycans decline with age and with, or your ability to glycosylate properly declines with age, as well as with your environmental factors. So do you sleep well? Do you smoke? Do you drink too much? Do you exercise enough? All of that affects your glycan profile. So they're essential for life. They change as we age and based on environmental factors. But the important thing here is you can take outside glycans and help to replenish and undo some of the impact of age and of these environmental factors. And that's what sets this apart from other anti-aging or healthy aging products is we can actually show that this works. It's not a 1% or a 2% works. It works, right? The ingredients you think of when you think of glycans, people are like, what is that even? Well, the most popular skincare products, hyaluronic acid, that's a glycan. The most popular joint health products, glucosamine, chondroitin, those are glycans, right? So you come across these things, right? The things that endurance runners replenish with on long runs is a glycan, right? You're talking about these things whether you know it or not. And it's important that we understand that you can't just stop with hyaluronic acid or you can't just stop with glucosamine or chondroitin. You have to get all of those essential sugars that your body needs to glycosylate. That is glycan replenishment therapy in a nutshell.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I love it. And I need to share this. When you said that you're trying to spell health
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have all the letters, then your body is spelling hell. Like you feel like hell because you don't have the letters. I thought that was super funny and it's a joke and it came to me in English. So I have to say that. That was a great explanation. There's a question in the chat that maybe you can answer in a short way. What's the difference between two of our biggest sellers, Manopol and Ambrotos? They're both part of our glycan replenishment therapy. I take Ambrotos every single day. How can we separate them or differentiate them?
Yeah, absolutely. So Ambertose is a true multi-glycan supplement. So just like you have a multivitamin, right? You would take Ambertose in the same way. It's going to give you a multitude of these different essential sugars that your body needs to glycosylate. So it would be your day-to-day insurance. Now, let's say you're like most people and you need more vitamin D or you need more of a specific nutrient. That is where Manopol comes in. But it's not just any specific nutrient, right? It's the richest source of ACE mannan anywhere, right? From single source Costa Rican aloe that's processed a very specific way to preserve that nutrient that's exclusive to us. And the reason why that's so effective is if you're someone like myself, let's say, and you're really focused on, hey, I really want to make sure I'm getting the most of all the products that I'm taking, adding in an aloe vera, adding in the best aloe vera in the world is critical to make sure that you get the most out of your day-to-day supplementation because we know aloe, ace mannan, mannose, that is going to help increase nutrient absorption. That's going to help make everything else function better. We have some of that, obviously, in ambertose. But if you want a higher dose, just like if you were taking, it's cold and flu season and you want to take more vitamin C, that's where Manipul comes in. And for me, the reason why I like Manipul is I like to take it around exercise and activity because I want to make sure that I'm getting all the nutrients from my meals surrounding that, but also from the supplements I'm consuming, like my, True Edge Energy or whatever it is. Because I feel like when I mix that with Manifold, it kicks it up a notch. I feel it even more. It lasts a little longer. And the science will play that out too, because you have elevated levels of those vitamins and minerals in your bloodstream for up to 24 hours when you're using a higher dose of aloe as compared to a lower dose.
So
Peter,
go ahead.
I love what you're saying. And one of the things that, I mean, and I love the way that you put it in such simple terms, because for those of you that have never heard of glycans, it's a very complex subject, right? It's something that people say, how do you take it? What do you eat it with? So thank you so much because you put it in such simple terms that we can understand. This is a personal question for you because you've been a creator of supplements. You've seen supplements your whole life, you said, since you were a baby. Well, let's just say I read that since college, okay? And so you've been doing this all of your life. So I would like for you to just say why this is the future, because I believe that, and why this stood apart from so many. I mean, you've seen it all, right? Because there's only so many things you can do for the body. You've seen it all. Why would you say that this is truly the future, especially the way our crops are grown, especially the way our environment is? Why would you say that this is truly the future of health, of supplements?
Well, for me, as my initial background being in sports nutrition and developing not only new products, but also creating new variants of raw materials. So standardizing them out, looking for specific actives. I felt like had seen everything on the cutting edge. And when I was introduced to this sort of glycans and glycan replenishment therapy, and I went deep into the science, what got me really interested was that over the last 30 years, right? When Manatech started doing this, there was no one else doing it from a natural perspective. They were way ahead of the curve. And as the research came along, we're able to study and map these glycans. It has become exponentially clearer that these are one of the three most important things in your body. But on the inverse of that, over that same period of time, the consumption of those from your diet has dropped dramatically. And so if I look at this health epidemic and I say, people are, for the first time ever, we're going to live longer, but we're not going to be healthy as we're living longer. To me, I said, well, this is that opportunity. I look at every single blue zone around the world, and this is something that when you look into the research is really fascinating. You say, well, what's the correlation with all of these blue zones? What do they have in common where people live 100 years and they're healthy and they're moving? Well, it all comes back to that consumption of a wide variety of different dietary fibers, sources of glycans, and they maintain your health. That's the one thing that's consistent across the board. And then you dive more deeply and you say, well, why are biotech companies and drug companies and all these different groups, diagnostic companies, spending so much money investing in glycans? It's because they are the future. And unfortunately for all of those people, you can also get them naturally. And if you're thoughtful about what you consume and you have the right products, then you can fill in those gaps naturally and give your body everything it needs to effectively glycosylate. And for me, that's like light bulb moment. It's great to cut out, let's say artificial sweeteners or synthetic colors or whatever it may be, but those are 0.5% changes, 0.1% changes. This is like a 50% change. You're talking about consuming glycans, allowing your body to restore a healthy, natural process. So for me, when I think about this, I think a few things. It's an amazing opportunity, right, to help people get healthy at a large scale, which is something that I'm really interested in and passionate about. But even more interesting to me, Manatech is the world leader in this, and I would say innovation has lagged in this area. It's been Manatech investing, but now other people are investing, but we have such a lead. And the things that we're able to do, the things that we're able to develop are mind-blowing. I mean, our self-nano emulsifying delivery system that's powered by glycans, where we ferment ingredients and increase the bioavailability of curcumin, 50 times, right? Things like that, all powered by glycans. Those are new innovations within the last year and a half that we've come up with and come out with, and some of the new ingredients that we've worked on. I think I'm just so excited about the future, and I also feel like this is a relatively untapped space. So anyone coming into it is going to get to experience what I would say is going to be the next wave of health revolutions. Just like people started taking probiotics, and that was sort of a revolution. I think this is going to be big.
Okay, are you there, Ross?
I'm here.
Okay. Okay, so I
I
love
think
it.
we
Did you see
missed
the
the
comments?
best part. I think we missed the. Did I miss Peter's comment at the end? Can we still hear him?
Can you can hear me?
Now we
I
can
can
hear.
hear you now. Yes, 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 yes.
Yes. Okay, so I know your time is very valuable, Peter, and we don't want to take you longer than we had anticipated. Quick question: can teenagers take Manopol because they're very active in sports? Is that something that would be beneficial?
Absolutely. So Manipul is one of those products that anyone can use at any age. You know, because we take the aloe out of the aloe, we process it, right? A lot of the concern with excess aloe is the aloin because that is the thing that causes the almost laxative-like effect in some aloes that if you drink like an aloe gel. We don't have that in our aloe, right? So you can consume it, and honestly, there's really you know, I wouldn't do more than 10 or 15 servings a day, but I've heard of people doing that. So you're good. I mean, my kids take it, my dogs take it, I take it, everybody in my house takes it because I think it's that critical for overall health.
Oh wow, I love it. Okay, let's close out because what I hear you saying is that whether you're already doing glycan replenishment therapy and you want to supercharge it or you want to start in this journey, Manopol is the way to go. Can you tell everyone that is listening about our incredible Manopol for the World promo?
Sure, we don't do this often, right? This is a rare thing because as far as ingredients and products go, Manipul to produce is probably the single most expensive. Which I mean I know you guys know this about me. I love cool expensive things, and this is one of the coolest, most expensive ingredients to produce out there. So we almost never discount it. So it's really rare that we do this, and it's only a few more days left. But it's if you buy two, you get 30% off. So if it's you doing it you can get two and you can really keep yourself in stock for maybe a month, 2 months. If it's you and a friend, right, you can each get a tub and you can go in on it together. I highly recommend if you want to try it, now's a great time to try it. I absolutely love this material. I love this product. I think, you know, again, once you've covered your bases with multi-glycan supplement like Ambertose, adding in something like Manipul is a great way. And if you're coming from something else and you're not sure, right, you're on another protein product, you're on another multivitamin, and you want to just dip your toe in. Maybe you're not ready for Ambertose, you want to start somewhere, and then you can just add to your existing shake. Manipul is a great way to get started because I can promise you that in a few days you'll start to feel sharper, you'll start to feel your joints feel better. Your digestion is one of the biggest things that people notice. If you have digestive challenges, this is fantastic,
Wow.
and overall, it's amazing. And I'll leave you with this, right? If you're a person who's worried about immune function, which a lot of people are nowadays, especially with all the weird things going around, um, you know, Ace Mannan, again, is an amazing natural immune modulator, right? Helps to activate your macrophages, has amazing benefits for your immune system. You can dig into it. If you want to Google and go down the rabbit hole, by all means do that. But you can also just say, hey, you know, it's coming in. Kids are going to be back to school in just a few months. Stock up on that Manipul now and help your kids strengthen their immune system before they go back to school. Also, summer travel, all those time on the plane. I mean, it's the only thing that saved me as I was in and out of airports for weeks on end.
Awesome. I love it. Anything that you want to add, Ross, before we close this up?
No, I think we've heard it all, and I think I love the information that we heard, and I hope everybody listening in is just in love with glycans. And seriously, I mean, everybody needs it. Like as Peter said, it glycans are life. So thank you so much, Peter, for your time, for your expertise, for sharing your story and your journey with this with glycans with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
guys. I want to make sure whoever is watching this connect with the person who shared this video with you so you can get your Manopol. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you. Bye.